Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. Let's get right to the sage of Southern California. You just finished listening to Barbara Walters' most fascinating list. So what'd you think?
Oh, spellbinding, wasn't it?
Well, look, you and I are old fogies. You know that. We're way
I'm not
past
an
our
old
prime.
fogey.
No,
I'm
you're
not
not?
an old fogey. Barbara Walters is somebody who can be given ratings or, you know, like Q ratings and stuff like that and discern the people who are fascinating. I don't think that way. I don't find a few of those people fascinating. A few of them are. We'll talk about the list. But I don't find Barbara Walters as the gatekeeper on the Who's Fascinating Stargate to be a good choice. Let's
Okay,
put it that way.
but listen,
As far as
what you think goes against economics because the woman is fabulously successful. Special will get very high ratings tonight. She year after year is able to generate. Look, let's take this.
and that's your idea of fascinating?
No, I'm not. Listen, I was trying to think about. There aren't any politicians that are really fascinating outside of Sarah Palin, and she's on the list. I think Sarah Palin's fascinating because the woman commands so much attention. But the rest of them are a bunch of pinheads, really. I mean, who else in the political world? I think Tiger Woods is a fascinating guy now because he's in so much trouble. I mean, that is an amazing situation.
Well, there's situational fascination,
right.
but that's sort of, you know, rubbernecking the train wreck. Let me say this. I do believe Kate Gosselin very easily could be the next Barbara Walters.
Do you think she's fascinating? Does she fascinate you in some way?
I don't know anything about her except I think she's married to the could-be Samoan kid. But I do know this. she could be the next Barbara Walters.
All right. Now, Lady Gaga, I mean, is that on your iPod? And I appreciate the marketing of this woman. Absolutely appreciate it. Genius.
I thought that was the most prescient comment you had during the interview. That very well could be Kate Gosselin
Right,
with a different wig.
Right.
Listen, I go gaga over chicks like Rita Hayworth and Gilda. I'm sorry.
I told you you were old.
Sure.
Do you know who George Gobel is? I told you.
Yeah, George Gobel, the all-time great line on The Tonight Show when he said to Johnny, "Did you ever feel the world is a tuxedo and you're a pair of brown shoes?" That's the best line ever.
She picks Brett Favre. You're a sports guy.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good pick.
By
Yeah.
Favre.
Yeah, he's a pretty good pick.
Listen, Favre, even when he was coming back, I remember questioning it. And then I heard him say, somebody said, "What about your legacy?" And he said, "Hey, it's my legacy." And that's another one of the smartest quotes of the year. He's right. Who are we to butt in on these people's lives? If he wants to take it into the barn, fine. If he doesn't want to take it into the barn, fine. And I'll tell you who does fascinate me, Billy. Not Adam Lambert, but Adam Lambert's dad, who came out and said, "Listen, I just think it was a bad choice taste-wise." Good for him. So many of these kids live in rarefied air. I love the fact that the old man can step in and simultaneously say, "I love my kid. I'm proud of him. This might have been a bad choice." That's all you ask for. I find Adam Lambert's dad to be fascinating.
But not him, not Lambert himself?
Oh, it's okay. But listen, I don't like guys who grab guys' heads, jam it into their crotch. When you notice it, they call you homophobic. It's not. It's just a little creepy on TV in the middle of the night. Come on.
More than a little.
Don't pin that homophobic thing on me.
Right. Well, that's what I just had to tell Barbara very gently, as you know. All right, let's get to the Miller fascinating people.
And by the way, Billy, one person on the list, real quickly, I have to give propers to Tyler Perry. I do find him to be a fascinating
very creative guy. Very creative guy.
I think he swims upstream against that rap culture. I admire him. He lost his mother today at the young age of 64. My prayers go out to him.
Okay, I concur. I'm going to give you one fascinating person and one not so fascinating person. Take the fascinating.
Yes. Well, I would say that the number one on Barbara's list, by the way, probably Pelosi, because she is fascinating to me that she can rise so far up without being fascinating at all. The not fascinating person is Harry Reid, and I think the people of Nevada feel the same because he's down 10 points going into that election next year. And Harry, I've been waiting for a year and a half to say this. Let me be the first one to get on record and tell you, Harry, the election is lost. Does that feel good?
Now, you don't think Harry has any fascination to him at all? Zero?
No, I think he's a stiff. Every time I see him speak, I keep expecting the CSI team to come out and put a chalk outline around him. My top three fascinating people this year are Ayn Rand, because I think she's at the front of an objectivist movement that's coming in this country. It's exhibited through number 2 on my list, which is John Q. Public, as exhibited by these people at the Tea Party. And the number 1 fascinating person to me, as it is every year, is the American man and woman in our military forces who afford us the opportunity to sit back here and have capricious endeavors like top 10 lists at the end of the year.
Right.
Thank you, troops, for sitting out there on the perimeter and giving us all that we have.
Dennis Miller,